Resilient economy is starting to sell off. So let's talk about what is actually happening in the market. Right now, experts are saying that we have roughly 30 to 35% odd of running into a recession. Why? Well, oil shock. So there's oil prices are continuing to go up. They were trading almost 50, $60 just a month ago, and now they're already well above $100 per barrel. So when oil goes up, obviously this indicates inflation. Your gasoline price certainly go up, but it has impact on everything else in our life. So the cost of everything that we consume goes up. And when inflation is up, then obviously we cannot expect Feds to do a rate cut. In matter of fact, Feds are now expected to do a rate hike by the end of the year. There's a 25% probability of rate hike at this point. And that's one of the reasons why you're seeing gold and silver selling off. So I want to talk about some of the risks that is showing up in the market, and at the same time, I want to talk about the resilience of the market and how can we have a long-term mindset to stay calm and reduce our anxiety in such time. So we're going to discuss all of that in today's video. Before I begin, let me remind you guys that this coming Tuesday, I'll be coming to Newark, California, Bay Area, and I will be organizing a meetup. So I would strongly encourage you to come join me at that meetup. And then on this Saturday, we're going to be doing an FBAR webinar. So if you have foreign income and assets, then you want to join that webinar as well. But let me talk a little bit about the meetup. Right now, what do you see every single day? You see planes flying, bombs dropping, fire, anxiety in the market. We see news that, hey, there could be rate hikes, inflation going up. Oil prices, when we go to a gas station, oil prices are up by almost $1, $2 in some places, maybe even more in California. So you see all of that and you go like, oh my God, what's all of a sudden happening in this world? I mean, everything seems so negative. You turn on your TV, you turn on a news channel, you go on YouTube or Twitter, wherever else you get your information from, and you see nothing but a negative news. And people start to worry. And then we have this fear of AI where people are losing jobs. So that gets people really boiled up. Right now, you take a look at the market and you look at your portfolio like, oh my God, it's red. Oh, it was red yesterday, the day before, and it continues to go red. So when you see all of that stuff, it's natural for you to be in a condition of fear. And whenever you're afraid, when you're fearful, the first thing you do is try to run away. And that is what you're seeing in the market right now. That's why you're seeing bonds are not safe, stocks are not safe, gold is not safe, silver is not safe, crypto is not safe. Nothing looks safe right now. So how do you deal with this kind of market situation? Number one tip I'm going to give you, first of all, is don't lose your calm, don't lose your sleep, don't lose your long-term horizon. It's easier said than done. Why do we have this anxiety? Why do we have this fear? Why are we so much worried about all this situation? Is you spend too much time looking at this negative information and almost no time looking at anything positive going on in the world. So I want to ask you right now, what is positive in your life right now? And even if you want to talk about the financial world, what is positive? Even take a look at our WhatsApp group. Those of you guys who are new to me or don't know me, by the way, my name is Deepak. I run a financial coaching program. If you want to reach out to me, you can go to taxcodeadvisors.com and you can reach out to me from there. But I also run a free WhatsApp group. And I've been monitoring that WhatsApp group. And I noticed for last few weeks now, there's almost nothing positive happening on the group. Every single news is negative. Every single conversation is negative. So you can imagine what kind of anxiety, what kind of fear that generates in people. So first advice I will have for you is try to see what percentage of your time is focused on positive news or thinking about what is happening right in this world. Or the other way to look at it, how the world will look like after these conflicts are over. How will things improve? How would things change? That can give you a little bit longer term horizon. Another thing I would recommend is talk to people. For example, this meetup. These meetups are free. I do this so that way I can engage with people, get to know you, shake your hand, and help you maybe calm down some of this anxiety. Because when we talk to people, we feel better. But right now, you go to gym, people are busy with earpieces. You go to restaurants, nobody wants to talk. You go to parks, nobody wants to talk. I see so many people I want to talk to, but nobody wants to talk because they're busy with whatever they're doing. We have forgotten the art of talking and connecting. I guess after COVID, people thought we can live without this social engagement. It's not good for our mental health. And I know a lot of people don't want to do it, but it is important. It will help a lot. So please, I strongly encourage you to come to the meetup and let's chat in person. All right. Number two thing I want to talk about is market is not really pricing in the risk that it is presenting itself. For example, this Iran war, it's such a major disruption to the oil flows around the world that market should have reacted by correcting 15 to 20% by now. But it's not. I think market is down, what, 6, 7% from all-time high. It's nothing in such an environment. So market is expecting that this issue is going to be a short-term play and it's going to get resolved in a couple of weeks. Now, why is that? Well, because we have learned in last several years that most corrections are buying opportunities. So why miss out on that? Why not just do simple dollar cost average and stay on course? Because we cannot time it. President Trump can announce something tonight that, hey, we have reached an agreement on this situation with Iran, and markets can correct automatically. And we can see our portfolio jump by 20, 30% overnight. We just don't know when that happens. So that is one reason that we are seeing that markets are staying quite resilient. And then we have retail investors. Retail investors have learned a lot. They have learned about ETFs, magic of investing in S&P 500. Very simple. Every time there's a market correction, we can take a look at the long-term horizon picture of S&P for last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, whatever number that you like. Take a look and you see market constantly goes up. So why bother with making adjustments of selling and then missing out on opportunity and all that? Why not just sit back, hold? And there are many other reasons, but nobody really is talking about that right now. So for example, AI. We all know that AI is a major catalyst in our economy. So right around Nvidia earning, we hear from Jensen that they're expecting almost $1 trillion in sales over the next 1 year. And that is just crazy. $1 trillion in revenue is for one company. That's like bigger than GDP of many countries. So that is telling you what kind of opportunity there is in AI. We just heard from Micron, and they are completely sold out, and demand is so big that they cannot even supply for next couple of years. So, and I can go on many other stories. You can listen to Broadcom, you can listen to pretty much any major player in AI, and you're going to get the same kind of answer. But right now, nobody's talking about that because all the headlines are busy talking about Iran, robotics. The other day, I saw a conversation going on in our WhatsApp group where people were talking about long-term care, the risk, how long-term care can eat up into your wealth. Yeah, that is a risk for sure. But I want you to think about what the long-term care might look like once robotics becomes a daily part of our life. I do expect robotics to become daily part of our life in next 10 years. So many of us who are in our 50s or maybe in early 60s, for elder care, I think robotics is going to be a big player. Right now, people are really worried about President Trump sending boots on ground in Iran because obviously some people will get hurt and we don't want our soldiers to get hurt. Nobody does. In matter of fact, I don't want anybody to get hurt, including the enemies. I want this thing to get peacefully resolved and we all move on with our life. But the future generation most likely is going to fight war with robots. So that is a huge opportunity. Things that are going to be happening in your home will be taken care of by robots. Out in groceries and all that stuff that are very labor incentive will be robots, especially hardworking jobs. For example, construction, mining, a lot of that stuff will be happening in robots as well. Then we have electrical vehicles that are starting to show up. Tesla is driving around automatically. We obviously have Waymo driving around automatically. Then don't forget SpaceX. That's going to be one of the biggest IPOs of the year. Just a couple of months ago, I was seeing every single day headlines around SpaceX. But since the war started, nobody's talking about that because all of those headline spaces now have a better headline, which is war, which is bombs dropping, and things are falling apart. And our broader digital economy is changing. The way we talk will change. The way we receive our healthcare will change. The financial market is going to change. Deregulation is still waiting to happen. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about baby boomers. Baby boomers are sitting on $85 trillion worth of wealth. They want to spend it. They want to use it. They want to transfer it to the next generation. All of that is going to happen. But like I said, people are too busy talking about what is happening negatively in the market. Now, you might say, well, Deepak, are you saying that these risks don't exist? No, I'm not saying that. Risks certainly exist, especially like take a look at Iran war. This can spill over, it can get extended, it can have major ramifications on our economy. But in a short run, can China take over Taiwan? Sure. Can Russia try to do other adventure in Europe? Absolutely. You never know about all of these things. These things will uh, happen. I mean, from time to time, people are going to take advantage of the situations. Take a look at the bond market. Bond market has been relatively stable in last 1 year, kind of bouncing off between 4 to 4.5%. That is pretty normal for the time being. Once it starts to hit around, maybe more than that, maybe around 5% or something, that is when we really need to start getting really, really worried that something crazy is actually happening. Another fear that a lot of people have is related to unemployment right now. AI is taking their jobs. And there is some truth to that because AI is going to replace a lot of jobs. For example, once you have autonomous trucks driving around on the road, what happens to all the drivers? I mean, that's a big part of our economy. I mean, think about UPS, FedEx, all the delivery that moves around in the country. All of a sudden, all of those people become unemployed. Then what about autonomous vehicles? What about all the Uber drivers, Lyft drivers? What happens to them? Like I said, once the robots come in, what happened in the healthcare market? What happened to all the nurses? You notice one of the largest number of employment that is being added since COVID is in healthcare sector. So once autonomous robots start to play into that field, what happens to that sector? So I'm not saying that there's a guarantee of jobs because of AI. So risk is certainly there. However, I think people are going to change, people are going to adapt, people are going to learn how to use AI to become more productive. And we're going to find other jobs, just like what we have always done in the past. There will be some adjustment, maybe for a couple of years, but then things will move on. The biggest concern that I personally see in the market is the US national debt, because all the other issues I think can be dealt with. But if you have too much debt, and this same thing applies to your household as well. You can survive the storm. You can survive if we run into recession. You can survive if market corrects by 15-20%. You can survive these temporary issues, no problem. But if you have a lot of debt on your company, on yourself, and you lose a job, that can have a lot of problem. And that worries me. And by the way, when clients come to me for consultation, especially during comprehensive consultation, I look at, they own a couple $1 million house and they have this nice cushion job that is paying them $300,000-$400,000. They don't want me to talk about what happens if you lose a job. You have all this debt. How quickly can you really replace that job? People don't realize that when bad times happen, banks are not very kind to you. It's not that easy to find job, and it's not that easy to sell either. So things go really, really bad, really, really fast. So similar situation is in United States right now. We are sitting at almost $39 trillion of debt, most likely with the cost of war and these oil prices and all that. We will probably arrive at $40 trillion this year. So there's nothing we can do about that. And, regardless of the reason that politicians give us to go on these kind of adventures, but the truth is wars and policy mistakes do end up resulting in money printing and more inflation at the end of the day. When you have more inflation, guess what? S&P 500 will go up, gold will go up, silver will go up, real estate will go up over the long term, right? So those are the things I like to talk about, to give you guys a little bit of better picture. So stay a little bit more grounded to a longer term picture. Can you make some money here and there by doing a little trading and all that? Sure, I talk about those strategies in the coaching program all the time, but that is not the way to build wealth. The way to build wealth is by staying focused on a long term. And every time there's a dip, take that opportunity to add a little bit more to your asset pile. Your goal is to accumulate assets. That is what you're really looking at. So once again, this Tuesday, I would strongly encourage you to come see me. And if you want to organize a little meetup elsewhere, maybe in San Ramon, San Jose, Sunnyvale, maybe you have some friends you want to bring at your home and you want to organize a meetup, then reach out to me and let's coordinate together. Now, if you guys need some help with your taxes this year, you have a small business, you need some help with consulting, you want to work with me, maybe you're working with somebody who doesn't really understand markets, who doesn't understand finance, who doesn't really give you that personalized attention that you would like from them, then maybe I'm your guy. So go to taxcodeadvisors.com and set up a free discovery call and let's talk and then we'll go from there. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you hopefully this Saturday on a FBAR webinar or next Tuesday on 24th for the in-person meetup. All right, guys. Yeah, till then, stay calm, stay relaxed. Remember, your health is the most important asset you have. So don't forget that all of these things will pass. You need to stay focused on maintaining your health. So stay calm, keep that blood pressure cool, and find something positive in your life today. All right. See you soon.